What's up, guys? Today we're coming to talk about our most anticipated games for the rest of the year. Now that the showcases are primarily over, at least the ones we know about, and though I'm sure a few more games will get announced along the way, there have been a ton of releases announced, a ton of ones that we are kind of expecting still, and we're starting to get kind of the rest of the year lined out. So, for me, this is the list of games that I'm most excited about, and yeah, there's quite a few. So, as per the usual, I'm gonna have a really hard time finishing all the games that I want to play, but I'm really excited about them. Let's get started. All right, these are in kind of like known release order, and then I'll finish with ones that have like a rough time frame, and then a few that we still think will come this year but aren't quite sure. So to start off with, coming August 29th, we just got a trailer the other day, is Visions of Mana. I grew up on the Mana series. I love the Mana series. Secret of Mana was one of my favorites on the Super Nintendo. My brother and I used to play them together. Trials of Mana, I tried out and played. I enjoyed it. It was kind of a mediocre one. That's a remake though. And I've heard good things about the one back on the SNES, but again, unless you buy that like pack of Mana games, a collection of Mana, then I haven't played it, right, the old school one. So, but this one looks awesome. You get to change classes, and that's a big deal for me. I love being able to change my class and like mess around with the abilities and figure out what build works best for me. I love that stuff. I think the visuals look pretty good. They're still very Mana, right? They're like that meat kind of cartoony-ish. So they're not like amazing. Probably not my favorite, but they're not bad. Like, I like them. I still think they look good, and I like that the class changes how the character looks. All that stuff looks good, but the combat looks great. I think they really upped the ante on that, and that was fun even in Trials of Mana. So I really think this one's gonna hit pretty good. So I'm excited for that on August 29th. The next one for me is Reynatis. I think it's Reynatis. I'm not really sure. This is coming out September 27th. This one is probably on a lower priority list for me, but it's still one I really want to try out. Reynatis is brought to us by Furyu, who is actually somewhat big of a company, it seems like, but they put out kind of B-tier JRPG type stuff. Like, they are at least partially responsible. I'm not sure how that all works, but Monarch was them. That was like a strategy RPG, Persona-esque, and they had Cry Machina, Trinity Trigger. All of these are kind of that lower tier RPG, right? They're not huge money at it, but they still have a cool production value. And Reynatis seems like just kind of that, maybe another step up though. The character animations look really good. I love the character design. The idea sounds cool. But again, most of these games have been kind of in the middling, mediocre category. So I'm excited for Reynatis. I think it looks really cool, but we'll have to kind of see how it does when it comes out, right? Like it might not hit as well as we hope, but I'm hoping it does, and I think it's gonna be fun. So that's what we're looking forward to that. All right, next up is possibly my most anticipated game of the year, and that is Metaphor Refantazio that comes out October 11th. And dude, this game is so cool. It's a Persona team building a fantasy RPG. Everything about it looks awesome to me. I love the way the characters look. I love the class idea, what they call archetypes. I love the combat, where you get a little bit of action combat and then turn-based. And I mean, Atlas cooks with that turn-based combat. Like, oh, I love that stuff. The story sounds interesting from what we're getting so far. They tend to go really deep into certain themes, and I love that stuff. I love being able to kind of think about it and analyze stuff. Sometimes it's like just kind of mulling it over in your head. I love all that stuff. So Metaphor, it just looks awesome. I really love that like fast-paced, strategic, turn-based combat that Atlas does really well in Persona. And so, I mean, the truth is, guys, like a fantasy version of Persona, like a full fantasy version, like what they're doing here, is something I've wanted for a long time. So this really fits for me. I am so excited for this. Yeah, this is right at the top of my list, and it's gonna be awesome. So as I go through this list, make sure you guys might notice, like, if you are an RPG fan, if if you are a JRPG fan, we're eating so good this year. We've already had good stuff. We're gonna do our, like we do our goaties, dude. Guys, this year is crazy. So make sure you guys let me know down below what your favorites are, what you're really looking forward to this year, and we can debate over the awesome games we get to play. All right, after Metaphor is, we just got this announced with release date at Nintendo Direct, and that is Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. This is coming out November 14th. Guys, man, look, I love me some HD 2D, okay? Triangle Strategy, Octopath Traveler, Star Ocean Second Story, like all of these games look incredible. I just love this art style, and this remake looks incredible. Old, like Dragon Quest games are like our legacy, right? That's where like the birth of real RPGs. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff in the mix there, but like, man, Dragon Quest is killer. And the problem now is if you play the old games, 1, 2, and 3, they show their age, right? There's just modern controls, modern sensibilities that we're used to, and they don't have them. So bringing something up to speed, bringing the visuals up to speed, like, I'm really, really excited for this. They're doing it really smart too, as Dragon Quest 3 is the beginning of the story. It kind of came out as like a prequel, right? So starting with 3, and then they also announced that unfortunately was kind of leaked. Stop leaking stuff, you guys. I know you won't, but man, it's such a bummer. But Dragon Quest 1 and 2 are also getting remade, and those are coming out next year. So if you start with 3, the end of this year, next year we get 1 and 2, then we'll get the story in chronological order, and it's going to be awesome. I'm really excited for this one. The style looks amazing. They orchestrated the music, man. It's going to be so good. So very much looking forward to that. Wow, incredible stuff. All right, that's all the stuff we have right now that has release dates. But now we have some windows. So we got fall, holiday, and then the year, and then a few that I'm just throwing in there because I want them. All right, so first up is Dragon Age, the Veilguard. I talked about this in the showcase video, link below the like button if you're interested in watching that. But the Veilguard trailer looked terrible, looked so bad. It was awful. But then they did the gameplay and it looks incredible. To me, I think that all the stuff they're showing, the action combat, the strategy of building up your certain character and their class, and then using your party members to do stuff on the side. They talked a lot about being able to pair abilities to do like bigger attacks. Think like Mass Effect and like Warp and whatever, I can't remember what it was called, Destruction, right? Where you like put someone in stasis and warp them. I think that's what it was. Anyway, and so the combination of attacks can do big damage. So timing things and setting them up one after the other, I think that sounds really good. I thought visually when it was running, it looked incredible. The colors really popped off. The characters looked awesome. So I'm super excited for this. Right now we don't have a release date. It's just set for fall. But this actually went from a game that I wanted to play just because I like fantasy and Dragon Age to a game that I am super excited about. So Dragon Age, the Veilguard, is coming out sometime this fall, and I'm super stoked. After that, we have Ys 10 Nordics. Now, this came out in Japan already, but it's been slated for autumn or fall here in the West. I love Ys. I unfortunately got in late. I've started with 8, played 9, and now I'm looking forward to 10. It's hard to go back. It's hard to go back. I've looked several times at the older Ys games, and there's just some stuff that's not in there now, right, that I'm used to with the movements and stuff. So I don't know if I'll do that, maybe one day, because I have played a lot of older games and it doesn't bother me usually, but I loved Ys 8. Like, so fun to play. Ys 9 I loved too. It probably is a technical better game, but the movement in 8 was so fun. But all the different movement types in 9, where you can change your character into the other ones to do movement abilities, loved that. And the combat in Ys is incredible. I love how fast and frenetic it is. I love I mean, really, the truth about Ys is the speed. The speed, man. I want to run fast. I want to attack fast. I love that stuff. You guys know me. It's a weird, stupid thing, but I like it when my character moves fast in and out of combat. And so when Ys pushes that speed stuff, it's just kind of near and dear to my heart, you know. So I love this stuff, and I'm really hoping that Ys 10 does come out this fall. We haven't heard about it in a while. It's already out in Japan, so I feel like it shouldn't have any trouble making that release date, but we'll see. All right, next up, dude, this one is super exciting because I didn't expect this, but I guess in some ways I knew it should come at some point, but you just don't know. And that's Fantasian. It's from the original creator of Final Fantasy, Hironobu Sakaguchi, and he's got Nobuo Uematsu playing music. I mean, cool stuff. But guys, this one, when it came out, they talked about, like, they built dioramas for every like scene and town and stuff. Like, that's crazy. This game looks so cool. I love. Mistwalker has put out some incredible stuff. If you haven't played Lost Odyssey, do yourself a favor. I mean, it'd be nice if it would come to modern consoles, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. But maybe one day. But Fantasian is coming out this holiday on modern platforms. They've updated some stuff, added some stuff. Neo Dimension or something like that is what they're calling it. But dude, Fantasian looks incredible. I've wanted to play it. I just was unwilling to go on Apple to do so. But man, Fantasian looks great. Really, really, really good. And I'm super excited to play that one. So again, that's holiday, which of course in video game language could mean, you know, late this year or early next year. But frankly, there's enough games in here. I'm probably okay if it moves into next year. But either way, Fantasian is definitely on my list. I'm super excited for that. All right, next up is Avowed. Now, kind of similar to Dragon Age, I thought that the trailer for Avowed was only okay. Not as bad as Dragon Age, but wasn't great either, in my opinion. I like Obsidian though, so this has been on my radar. Plus, it's going to be in Game Pass, so if you have that, you get the game to try anyway. But they did this deep dive with Carrie Patel, who's I think the game director. I might have that title wrong, but either way, and they just went through some gameplay and went through some decisions and builds for your character. And guys, man, this looks so stinking good. It's like better written Skyrim. Like the colors really pop off. The characters look incredible. The moves look good. I'm still a little first person sword fighting. I don't think works as well as some of these developers seem to think it does. But you can do it in third person now. So I love that. I mean, the whole Elder Scrolls thing where you can play in both first person and third person, like, I just wonder how much of a freaking like work sink, how much time does it take for them to do that? That just seems crazy to me to have to build both. Maybe it's not as big a deal, but it seems like it is to me. But either way, I'm excited, man. Avowed looks really good. All the deep stuff that Obsidian does in their dialogue choices and their building of your character and how your choices play into different things throughout the story, like, this game's gonna be awesome. And we've had kind of like a leaked release date by them, their own, of November 12th. But I think the reason that they're not announcing it is so they can move it wherever they want and not have to like delay it, you know? It still annoys me. I feel like we should have a release date, but whatever. Avowed looks awesome. I'm really excited for that. And man, I think that's like 100-hour sync, you know? I think we could really kind of lose our life for a bit. So, all right, so that's the last one where we kind of have like a window, essentially. There's 3 more real quick that I'm going to hit on that we don't have that and haven't talked about it for quite some time. So, fairly likely it's not coming this year, but there's that little bit of hope in me, and so here we go. Number 1 is Silksong. This is probably number 1 on a lot of people's list. If you're a Hollow Knight person, this game is going to be at the top of your list. Silksong has been in the works for like forever, but Team Cherry is tiny, and they probably just keep adding more stuff because, you know, what are you going to do? And Silksong is incredible, right? I love Hollow Knight. Absolutely love it. And Silksong is going to be awesome. It just is, but we have no idea when it's coming out. It was supposed to come out last year, then they delayed it, and then now we're like, Nothing. So who knows? But because they had announced it for the end of last year and then delayed it, I still think there's a possibility of it coming out later this year, but we'll see. After that, I got Lost Soul Aside. You guys seen this? Man, this game was announced like 7 years ago. It looks incredible. It looked great back then. It just keeps looking better. We've seen new trailers, we've seen new things, but no release window, no release date. You're like, at some point, Sony's got to make him push this out, right? I mean, they came in and worked with this kid who was doing it on his own at the time, and then now he's got a team. I mean, hopefully this is coming out soon. I heard rumblings might be coming out at the end of last year, and then that kind of sunk down again, so who knows? But I'm so excited for whenever Lost Soul Aside comes out. Looks great. And then lastly is Crimson Desert. I think probably not coming out this year. They are putting so much into this game. Last time they showed it, they had like crazy amount of stuff, right? Like the Sky Isles from Zelda, and riding a horse, and powers and moves, and really deep combat, and all these different things you could do. It looks nuts. This is like right up there towards the top, man. This game just looks incredible. And so whenever they get this out, I'm gonna be right on it. But again, we haven't heard anything about this for a while. This again was kind of gave us like a 2023 date, and then delayed that, and haven't heard about it since. So hopefully they're just quietly sitting it in the oven until it's fully ready. It can come out early next year or something. That'd be great. But we'll see. For now, throw it in here. So that's my list of like most anticipated games. There is a ton of good stuff coming this year. Other good stuff that will get pushed to next year for sure. But what about you? What are you excited about? What games do you want to see come this year? What game are you most excited to play? Let me know down in the comments, and let's just enjoy gaming together. Yeah? Alright guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that like button. That helps me out a ton. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here. And thank you so much for watching. Good hunt.